how is that for success, ladies and gentlemen? We followed vehicle tracks along the road and we saw the directions in which they were going, and we found just off the road, I have no idea where we are exactly. I'm sure we're still on Chitwa, but I do not know the road names down here. But ta-da! We have found the Djuma Pride, and they are busy grooming each other, and I would think that they've managed to kill something, because there are some full bellies amongst them. And they're licking each other's faces, which means they've probably eaten something of value in the night. And I first thought they looked a little bit bloody, and then I thought maybe they're just wet on the face. But for that individual to be licking the youngster, yeah, they've got something in the bushes here. There's definitely a kill in there. Maybe we go around there, Ferg. We'll just see if you can get any visual of that. If we can't, we'll just go around. There's more lions in the bushes there. You can definitely hear the crunching of bones. Let's have a listen.
I'm not sure we're going to hear much with this wind, I'm afraid.
The wind is coming from behind us. Okay, let's see if we can get another look at them. Bear with us, please. Marvelous indeed. There's no one else here, so we are very fortunate that we've managed to relocate on lions, even though we didn't know exactly where they were. But thank you, Taylor, for giving me some advice on where to go. They're just off the road here as well. Just going to squash in here a little bit and see what we can see. Don't be scared, youngsters. Very hard to see what is going on behind there. It is, Joseph, it is a very thick area. We've got lots of bushes around. There's not, I wouldn't say a very grassy area, but lots and lots of branches and small shrubs. A perfect place to ambush if you're a lion. Perfect place to kill something like a kudu, or an impala, or a waterbuck, but we cannot see too well inside there. That's probably why there are no vehicles here, because they weren't able to show their guests too much. But that's okay. This is live. This is the reality of what happens out here in the Sabi Sands, is that you don't always get the best opportunities to see what's going on, but you can still listen and hear. And maybe we will hear a little bit of growling in a moment. There's a lot of wind. There's not too much noise at the moment. They definitely are quite full. I mean, I don't know how anyone would even be able to say these are the Djumas. I haven't seen an individual yet that tells me exactly Djumas. The cubs actually look a little bit younger, in my opinion. I wonder if it's possibly another pride. Kirst, what do you think? So I haven't seen a lioness yet that recognizes me, that I recognize. And I'll be honest, they weren't the most relaxed animals when we came in. They actually moved off a bit on seeing us. Mystery lions. Well, the radio through Taylor said that it was the Djumas, and it is. But until I've seen an individual that I recognize, I am going to hold that thought. One lioness there. Right hand down. Forward or back, Ferg. But folks, myself and Ferg are quite certain this is not the Djuma Pride. The cubs are just too small. I know I haven't seen the sticks since January, but I'm guessing it could be them. I don't know what the Torchwood makeup is like, how many cubs they have. But these cubs also, they're not as relaxed as the Djumas are. And the Djumas, they're just so much bigger than these cubs. I wonder if anyone out there can confirm that for me. I know we're not getting too many of them on screen. Can you hear the bones? I can only slightly hear the bones. Terribly sorry about that, folks. But I wonder if any of you out there is able to confirm for me. I'm sure Brent is looking at the screen. He'll be able to tell us when last he saw the sticks and if it could potentially be them. I just don't feel that these cubs are the right sort of size. I've gotten quite used to seeing them over the last month, and there's a different look to them, a different size to them. But I haven't been able to clearly look. Okay, Taylor thinks it could be sticks. Brent hasn't seen them in over a year, so it would be difficult for him to say. But we haven't really had too much of a look at any of the lionesses. The Nkuhumas have got at least 2 or 3 of the lionesses with very characteristic looks about them, obviously with some wounds and some eyes and some damage. Puma, the stick says only 3 adult females. Thanks for confirming that. I haven't seen more than 3. They were lying down, but the ones I looked at, they didn't have anything noticeable about them. You see, look at the size of this one. It's not very big, that cub. It's not very big at all. Maybe it'll come out and show itself to us. Come on, youngster. It's going to walk around the bush. Are we going to get a look at its face? No, it's very camouflaged. There he is at the back now. You see, those cubs are far smaller than the Nkuhumas. Far smaller, and we saw one next to a lioness before. The lioness had absolutely nothing recognizable for me, and just my opinion, these are too small. Even their eyes are more brown than the amber colors that you find in the Nkuhumas. Very interested though, aren't they? And also the Nkuhuma youngsters are competing a lot more, so they've got a little more scratches and scrapes and marks on the face. When last did we have the Sticks Pride on air? Indigo is reckoning it could be Torchwood. I have no idea. I've never seen the Torchwood. And if they come down as far as Chitwa, I wouldn't be surprised. But this is kind of an area that I've been told that the sticks hang out in. The first time I saw them was on Little Gowrie Junction with Djuma, and the cubs were lots smaller. But that's 3 months ago. Can you believe it? I've already been working here for more than 3 months. Taylor saw them about 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure where she saw them. And I've no idea what it is that they've killed here. But whatever it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely dead. There is nothing left that we can see apart from a few bones that the youngsters are gnawing on. I love the mystery, though. I love the mystery that's being played out now. Who are these lions? What have they killed? That is the beauty of the wilderness. Unless you physically see something happen, you don't know. You can never assume anything. Well, while we still try to figure out this mystery, let's go back to the storyteller himself, Brent Smith. 100% sure now that it is not the Nkuhumas. There are too many youngsters. They are too small. Ferg is saying it can't be the sticks because they're in too good a nick. There's absolutely no mange on any of them. And last time the sticks were seen, they were looking a little bit poor in condition. So we can assume, without knowing any better, that it's potentially... Oh, hang on, that is actually the back there, Ferg. We thought initially it was a zebra, but because we found the fur. But now those two are fighting over the head of a nyala. There's a nyala ram or nyala bull there. And we first thought it was a zebra because we saw some white and dark hair, but it was obviously the fur from the back of a nyala. That's amazing. I've never ever seen a nyala hunted by lions or leopard. It's a discussion we were discussing with Scott before he left and Nikki as well. Because Scott was once with Tundi, and Tundi walked straight past the Nyala bull and didn't even look at him. Absolutely ignored his presence completely. And we think it's because Nyala bulls are just too big, way too big to even warrant investigation from a leopard. But these lions have clearly enjoyed eating him quite thoroughly. There is a little bit of a scapula there, I believe. And you can see, folks, there's an adult lioness behind these two youngsters. They're way too small to be the Nkuhumas, so we can definitely rule them out. Whether the sticks have gone through a really good process and their fur is in good condition again, we're going to probably assume that it might be the Torchwood. Romit is thinking the Torchwoods. Well, sir, or ma'am, I have never seen them before. I would not know. I've never seen them. I don't even know what their dynamics are at the moment. But marvelous, marvelous indeed that we have got lions and that they have fed. What a successful morning. There we go. You can see the jawbone now. It's definitely not a zebra jawbone. Looks like the lower right-hand side. Blue Rose, the Nkuhumas could have a problem with this pride being here. I think we're quite far east at the moment. I mean, once we move off the lines, we can have a look at the map and see exactly where we are. But I think we're on the eastern side. I don't know the extent of the eastern traverse of the Nkuhumas. And we are far east. We're right on the eastern boundary of Chitwa. And the map I've got actually does not even have Chitwa on it. So the Nkuhumas, who seem to go quite far north into Buffelshoek, and then they go as far as Simbambili and Arathusa. I'm thinking that we might be somewhere in Chitwa. There might be their sort of boundary line that they don't cross. And the other day, we, not ourselves personally, but others saw the Nkuhumas and the Torchwoods in the very northeastern section of Djuma where they interacted. So we can actually have a look at the map here and it'll give you an idea of where we are, where they interacted the other day. They interacted right up here, somewhere about there. I'm not sure exactly, but about over there. And if you zoom out, Ferg, this is all Torchwood over here. This is Chitwa, and we're probably about over here somewhere. It's not on the map. This is all Chitwa down at the bottom. So we're probably right here on the southeastern side of Chitwa. So difficult for me to say exactly where, but I think the boundary road is just up here somewhere. And so this would make sense that this is part and parcel of the Torchwood Pride, because the Nkuhumas seem to fill this entire zone. So it's very likely that the Torchwoods are filling this entire zone here on the east and also kind of up into the northern side. But that is unknown to me. Let's go back to the lions though, Ferg, because I'm sure they're far more interesting than my face. As they are finishing, I mean, have a look at that animal looking at us there. I don't think they see vehicles too often. They've been very interested in myself and Fergus, and maybe they don't see roofs as well. Okay, well, we're going to move on from these lions, and let's go over to Brent with his microscope.